So definitely one of the most well-known jazz tricks or jazz hacks is the tritone substitution. A lot of us know what tritone subs are, but haven't really thought about trying to apply them. Which is a shame, because despite the ubiquity of this harmonic device, people don't really realize how powerful this simple tool can be. The reason a tritone sub works is that the tritone interval is a unique kind of interval. If you play any other interval ascending, you will get a different note each time. With some intervals, you'll get a smaller set of notes repeating. But the tritone is unique. When you move up in tritones, you'll just get two notes alternating. This is because it perfectly divides the octave in half to essentially give us this symmetrical situation. This gives fully diminished chords their unique sound, but it also gives dominant chords a very interesting trait. They can be substituted for another dominant seventh chord a tritone away. This is because the important notes of the chord, the third and the seventh, are a tritone away. Therefore, the whole chord can be moved a tritone away, and the basic functionality of the chord will stay the same. It will just have a dramatically different feeling because of the different bass note. Essentially, the whole chord is reflected across this axis. It's wild. One thing the tritone sub can do is give a slightly different flavor to your standard 2-5-1. Check out this excerpt from a bossa nova in F. Just as there are a number of different ways of treating a 5 chord, there are a few different ways you can approach a tritone sub chord. Probably the default way is having it be a dominant flat 5 chord. So if we're going from G minor 7 to F sharp 7 to F major 7, we're including a C natural in the F sharp chord rather than the standard natural 5 C sharp. You could also make it diminished dominant, no problem. Or you can make it Lydian dominant, which makes a lot of sense, especially if you're coming from C7 altered. You can also do the reverse. If you're coming from a C mixolydian or C Lydian dominant kind of sound, you can substitute that for an F sharp 7 altered chord, which sounds really cool. You can take this concept even further by approaching the tritone 5 chord with its respective 2 chord. This means, for example, that an E7 chord moving to an E flat major chord would be preceded by a straight up B minor 7. That's right, you're playing in this E flat major land, and all of a sudden you're introducing these B minor 7 notes that resolve neatly back into the key. A different flavor. A common stand-in for a standard 5 dominant chord is the 5 sus chord. You can apply the same tritone sub-concept to the 5 sus chord by moving the root a tritone away and keeping the important chord tones the same. Therefore, this G sus chord becomes a D flat major 7 chord. A perfectly valid resolution to the tonic. Applying the tritone sub technique to a wider array of chords can give us some interesting progressions, like the ladybird turnaround. So I'm gonna get a bit jazz hipster on you for a sec. There's this obscure recording of Mulgrew Miller, I'm fairly certain you've never heard it, from University of North Florida back in 2002, when he played with Derek Hodge on bass and Ulysses Owens Jr. on drums. One of the tunes they play is Dreamsville by Henry Mancini, which is in D major. In the intro, where Mulgrew is just playing solo piano, he goes into this progression. Woo! The tritones sus! So you see now that you can take the idea of the tritone substitution pretty far. This is one way artists come up with new things. They take an existing concept and then just see how far they can stretch it. Doing the same thing in your playing is what will lead you to coming up with new sounds and ideas that nobody has thought of yet. So that's all for now. Please like and subscribe, stay tuned for more videos, and as always, happy practicing.